FOG, and you're here from the Family of Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to an exciting, awesome episode. I'm here with Mr. Ryan, the Roy himself, and we got some interesting news here for Unmatched that I wanted to kind of talk about, because usually I do this on my own, but I wanted to bring you into this because also you came over, but I figured it would work out because we got our first official look at the Witcher, the boxes for the Witcher, and they just revealed Geralt, the main character from the Witcher video games, books, comics, all that stuff, his ability, and some cards. So you've never played...
I've never played The Witcher.
Never played it. No books
I
either.
don't know
no
anything.
He knows nothing.
I have respect for it because, a lot of people like it, so there must be something to it.
Right.
And, it seems interesting. I've just never gotten into it. So.
I've played about half of the first game, a little bit of the second game, and played a good chunk of the third game. So I know a little bit. I'm not the biggest Witcher fan. It's been a couple of years since I've touched the last game. The third game I haven't really played much of recently, but it's been a bit. So I have the pictures here of everything. So I kind of explained a little bit of the Witcher lore. They have it's like a fantasy thing. They have like two swords. One is for specifically fighting monsters, which is the silver sword. The steel sword is for fighting people, basically. And in the game, you switch back and forth between the swords. So my theory was that they were going to have like a token, kind of like Hamlet, where you can switch it back and forth between the two swords, but that's not the case here. So we look here, and I have the pictures on screen for you, whoever's watching. That is going to be Geralt's miniature there.
Nice.
And he's got a little bit of magic. That's why he's doing his little thing there. His sidekick is going to be Dandelion, the bard.
Oh, nice.
So I know you're into bards, right?
No.
Okay. Again, he knows nothing about the game.
Nah,
so.
I don't know. But it looks cool.
But okay, but I want the reason why. I want his opinion because
I've heard things.
Not knowing the games, mechanically speaking, I want his opinion here. Melee character, Geralt.
Makes sense.
16 health, which is pretty good. A movement of 2. Dandelion is a ranged sidekick with 5 health.
That's very cool.
So that's interesting.
That's pretty good.
Merlin and King Arthur are like that. Sherlock Holmes and Watson are like that, where one of the heroes, melee, and the sidekick is ranged. So, but he's got his special ability Always Prepared. At the start of the game, choose your gear. Select a potion, armor, and sword, and shuffle 2 copies of each into your deck. So basically there's going to be, I guess, a couple of different gear cards with different stuff, so you can actually semi-customize your deck before the start of the game, which is kind of a first for Unmatched here. So we do have pictures of his Sword of Steel and the Sword of Silver.
So there's 2 of those or 1 of those?
There's 2 of each of these cards here.
Okay.
So the Sword of Steel is a 4 attack, which it's classified as a gear card. After combat, gain 1 action, but if the opposing fighter has 8 or more health, gain 2 actions instead, which seems pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's really good. But I think the thing is, the card's only in there twice, so you gotta...
Right. But again, that's why it's really
good.
That's
pretty good. That's a good card.
There's only 2 in there. So, and then the Sword of Silver, also a 4 attack, but immediately, if your opponent's card has a printed value of 4 or more, ignore its value. Ooh. Which is also, there's 2.
That's super situational, and you gotta hope on that, but that's still pretty good if that goes. That's like one of those things where you play it, and you get that 4 or more card, and you're like, this is exactly how I planned it. And then there are times where you'll get the 2 faint, and I'll be like, oh, whatever,
Right. So I know. So I see people liking it. I see people complaining about it because the whole thing in the games is that like 1 sword is for monsters, 1 sword is not for monsters. Yeah. So people were saying like, oh, like one should be for monsters, and it's like, okay, but how do you classify
Yeah,
monsters in the game? Like,
I'm gonna upset some people.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I'm gonna upset some people.
Yeah,
I was briefed on this. Anyone who's upset about this, I'm just gonna say it plainly, you are wrong. No, it's true. I get exactly what you mean, but like, you're complaining about this for a game like Unmatched, where it's supposed to be like, hey, like this character now can be used in this. Like, it's not like, obviously it's not gonna be perfect to like.
Right.
So like, you need to be. He has both of those. He needs to be able to use that against whoever. That's what it is. It's built for a game like Unmatched. This isn't. We're not playing The Witcher. Like,
right.
I just want that very clear. You are playing Unmatched.
It's not a Witcher board game fully. With its own.
It's a Witcher themed box with Witcher themed characters. Like, so like
for a specific game system.
Right. So like, you're complaining about like, well, like this is not accurate. Well, what you're suggesting just wouldn't work in Unmatched. So like, like what's the point here? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like throwing what's like, and the whole my thing is like, what's the difference? And if you're really like that butthurt about it, like don't get it. Like as I'm just gonna be honest, like I doesn't make sense that I might get hate for this. That's fine. I'll let the hate ring on. It just doesn't make sense to me that that's like an honest complaint about it. It's like, yeah, but it's Unmatched. You either don't understand Unmatched, or you're just like, you're a Witcher purist, which I mean, like, more power to you, but like,
listen, I listen, with the Marvel boxes when they came out, you Ryan, you see the bookshelves behind me. I'm big into Marvel, DC comic books and stuff like that. Reading comic books for basically all my life. There were some things that I was like, well, why? Okay, why? But this doesn't really make sense. Okay, well, why would they do that? Okay, all right, but whatever.
Just think about the Achilles
it fits in
thing.
The game. Yeah.
Just think about Achilles and his sidekick. There are cards that intentionally hurt the sidekick.
Right. Patroclus.
Why would Achilles, like, if you were Achilles, like, why would you intentionally hurt your sidekick?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't fit with the Achilles lore.
So if you're an Achilles purist, you'd be upset about that. But it works really well for Unmatched.
Right.
And I'm assuming this is going to work really well for this. This sounds like a really fun card.
Yeah.
He sounds like an interesting
Now,
card.
listen, now we're just talking about the two cards that we see at the time of recording this video, but it also says in his rule there's also potion and armor cards that, again, are gear cards that you can customize the deck and shuffle 2 copies of each of those cards in there.
Right.
That's pretty awesome. Now, I don't know if people are upset or maybe annoyed or critical about the fact that you can only take from what it says, you can only either take the Sword of Silver and the Sword of Steel. You can't take both in a game. But those are 2 really good abilities.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'd say so.
I don't think that.
But you could take the sword and a potion.
Yeah, but we don't know what the potion cards are. So you basically you're taking a potion, armor, and sword card and shuffling 2 copies of each. So basically shuffling 6 different things into the deck. So I assume there's going to be 12 extra cards of, you could either choose these or you could choose these. You know what I mean? And like, that's cool. You can kind of customize your deck before the start of the game. The only character that's kind of like that, but not really, is actually Buffy. Because Buffy, before you
know.
Yeah, well, we don't
have Buffy.
Buffy, before you start the game, can choose one or the other sidekick. There's 2 sidekicks you can take, and before you start the game, you can pick which one you want to take, and that'll have you do different things in the game, and the sidekick does certain different things. So this gives you a little bit of of customization for the deck that isn't in Unmatched. So, and I don't think deck customization at all should be in Unmatched at all. It's not a deck building game. It's not a trading card game. It's a board game, and this deck of cards is specifically made for Geralt. So these cards, you can't put them in Shakespeare's box. Right. You can't put them in Bloody Mary's box. It's just
it's a good mechanic.
It's cool for that. You can choose, you can do things. It's limited to just Geralt. I like that. I do like that. But like you have in the same box that Geralt's going to be in, you have Ciri, which is his daughter. She's another Witcher. Are they going to have something similar, but the potions, armors, and swords might be different? Or are the swords going to be the same because she's also a Witcher, so she might have the same cards? Who knows? But I'm very, like, this... I'm, again, not, like, the biggest fan of The Witcher, but this is making me pretty excited just for the two boxes we're getting for The Witcher. I'm excited to see what other mechanics they might
Right.
do for it. So, but yeah, I mean, any final thoughts on Geralt?
Good mechanic, it looks like. Interesting concept with the card. If you're that upset about it, don't buy it. That's all I gotta say. Don't play Unmatched. So,
Yeah, well, there you go.
and no disrespect to like the Witcher fans. If you're a purist and you want it that way, like that's what it is. But like,
Yeah.
don't like,
Yeah,
it's Unmatched. We're playing against people here.
right.
I mean, beasts, but people too.
Right.
So.
Wise words coming from Mr. Roy here. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. I want you to tell me what you think down in the comments below of Geralt so far. Do you think his ability's good? Do you think it's not good? Do you agree
Do you
with
disagree? Do
mine?
you hate my opinion?
Yeah, do you hate what he had to say?
Yeah.
Or do you agree with what he had to say? Let us know down in the comments below. There are some videos on the screen that you can check out. Also, check out our link tree in the description. It has links to our podcast, our social media pages, our Patreon, and our Discord. But that is it, guys. So, see you in the next one.